Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Blind and the Special. This is a stream that Pincalo and I are doing together, and sometimes we'll game, and sometimes we'll talk about stuff, and sometimes we'll do both. But today we're just going to talk about some news articles that either got us really pissed off or made us giggle. So here we are, just hanging out together. And before we get going, I just want to take a moment to thank Skep Talk for the $50 Streamlabs donation just before the stream. Thank you very much. That is amazing. He says just supporting a terrific content creator. That means quite a lot, actually. I just talk. And also thank you for the $15 donation from an anonymous person. They wish to remain anonymous, so we will just keep it that way. So thank you both very, very much. And without further ado, say hello, Pincalo.
Hello, Pincalo.
I knew that was coming.
Of course not. I'm a retard. I've got a question for you. How do you lock do you know how to lock my screen open? Wait, did that work? I can't tell. I'm a boomer. I'm more of a boomer than Sargon. I think I got it, but if you talk, it's going to, yeah, okay, it'll do that. I'm watching on the watch stream, by the way. Hi, everybody. Okay. Shinji, that was, how's it going, buddy?
That was a great comment, by the way.
Okay, so so I'm new to this concept of trying to do it with screen share, everybody. We're just trying to, because OBS is so lame right now, until I get an actual new good computer that can run OBS and do all this shit, we're going to have to do it this way. Otherwise, my brain's going to explode and I'll end up smashing shit. We don't want that. We don't want that at all. Okay, so quick recap of the day. Yes, we know what happened this morning. It was messed up. We're part of what's called Team No Team. Team No Team. So there's no tribe. We're going to ignore that shit from earlier. It was funny. Let it die. If you want to talk about it later, we can, but not right now. I want to get to these articles, but yeah. This is the kind of yeah. Thanks, Terry. I'm wonderful, ain't I? I'm so good. Okay. So.
Sorry, I just read Terry's comment. I didn't read the whole thing. So
this is what you get for a husband and wife team that are gonna have fun. We call it the blind and the special. Can you guess which one's the special? I'm special. I'm special. That's better. Yeah. So without further ado, okay. So where should we begin here? This is our first show. It's gonna be all fucked up, but hey, let's have some fun. First story we're going to cover real quick, because I can't get this off my screen right now without laughing every time, because her face, it's terrifying. That's too much teeth. Okay, so Big Brother's Ellis Hillen removed over offensive tweets. Oh boy, I love these. This is fun. Okay, Big Brother contestant Ellen Hill has been removed from the show following an investigation into offensive tweets. She allegedly, that's my favorite, wrote a tweet in 2014 about the 9/11 terror attacks, which contained a racial slur. Wonder what it was. The 20-year-old from Glasgow was one of 14 contestants who entered the house on Friday for the last ever series of the show. I hate Big Brother, so we're not even going to look into that, and I hope it dies.
Yeah.
I grabbed this because it's just funny to show how pathetic this is. Big Brother said she was removed after investigated offensive and unacceptable posts. Riling. So there's a tweet up here, line that says, Ellis has been removed from the Big Brother house. From BBUK. Oh, hashtag BBUK, so the Big Brother UK.
UK, yeah.
The Daily Mirror claimed Ellis's tweets about the September 11th attack was made on the anniversary of the incident when she was 15. The account from which the post was allegedly sent was deleted before she entered the show. How does that work? Big bro. So neat little thing here, kiddies. Archive tweets now and archived accounts. You're not safe anymore.
Nope.
That's what this shows. So nobody is safe. You can delete your shit. You can block your shit. You ain't safe.
Internet never forgets.
Terrifying. And that's okay. We'll look at Human Ken Boy in a minute. It's not the first the show's producers have been forced to take action over offensive language or posts by contestants. There's a photo here of the Human Ken doll. Rodrigo Alves was later removed from the house following a further incident. Oh, I wonder what that was. During the 2018... God, Tonka's nightmare. Yes, exactly. That fucking thing is terrifying. Honey, if you could see what this dude looks like, I can't even begin to describe. Actually,
is that the freak that Tonka actually had the video of?
Yeah, that's the dude. That's the dude that Tonka is terrified of. Because he looks evil. Only way I can put it. I mean, it looks like there's an actor from the 80s movies, and she was like that 6 foot tall chick from Beverly Hills Cop 3. Right. That's who this dude reminds me of. Every time there's a 6 foot blonde. How many 6 foot blondes are there running around LA? Kind of. But it's terrifying. Yes, Tonka is scared of this because that is terrifying. That's $100,000 in plastic surgery minimum. But either way, back to the story. During the 2018 celebrity version of the show, which ended on Monday, TV star Rodrigo Alves was given a formal warning after he used the N-word in the house.
In the house, not
in the
live.
House. So whether it was live or not, who cares? My guess is nobody understands how nobody likes language. More than 1,000 so it must have been on the air.
Oh, okay.
More than 1,000 complaints were made to media watchdog Ofcom, OFCOM, over the incident on 21 August. And some fans suggested he should have been removed from the show. In 2015, ex-adult star Tia Tequila was removed after one day on the show after a photo emerged of her posing as a Nazi concentration camp guard. And her house is covered in Nazi paraphernalia, and she is a literal neo-Nazi. It's just not fair. Yeah, it was this was weird. The whole Tia Tequila story, that was I don't talk about it because it was just one of those I don't want to believe it, but at the same time I can believe it. It's that whole thing. It's always live. Nico, it's always live. My stepmother subscribed to it online where you can watch the cameras 24/7. Good God, I no, thank you.
It literally is Big Brother.
Ken and Mr. Zed. Let's see here. Terry said something about tweets. If your tweets aren't offensive, do they even count as real tweets? Well, ask the Scottish Guard that. Ask the Scottish Police Service that if it counts. They'll tell you different. Well, in 2007, contestant Emily Parr was also told to leave after she used the N-word in a conversation with housemates. That's it?
But what did this person's tweet say?
I don't know. It was deleted, and the account was deleted. And that's the end of the story.
But then if they found the tweet in the first place and found it so horrible that they kicked her out, why can't we find out what she said?
Because BBC does terrible fucking reporting. This is atrocious. Okay, next story. This just made me mad. Now okay, this right here shows me why Scribe gets so pissed off right off the hop.
Yeah.
Like, really, you don't tell me what the tweet was. You don't say what it was. It contained a racial slur. Well, it's not Bang Howdy, because that's a Canadian one. Could it be Dirt Dweller? Like Cave Dweller? What did she say? This is the problem.
What did a 15-year-old come up with that was so offensive?
I don't know. The worst I could think of at 15, because of me and my friends all being Arab, we can only think of Camel Jockey. It's the only thing I can think of from 5 years ago. Anyone else? so offensive. No one is allowed to know what she said. Sounds familiar, right? If they don't tell us which N-word was used, lots of words that start with N could have been nincompoop.
It's the tweet that we dare not speak its name.
Did she say snow Mexican? No. Now. The celebrity. See, this is the shit that see, now I scroll down and it's like there's more. Rodrigo Alves removed, like it's all this crap, and I'm like, no, I don't want to read that. Okay, let's close that tab. I'm stealing Bert Kreischer's thing here. Okay, we're gonna do a thing called open tabs, where I go back and I read every tab that I've had open. God, it's nothing bad against the guy. It's good content, but I couldn't do that. Okay, viral video shows woman run over by police horse. Okay, there's a video. I'm going to play it because it's our first stream. There's no way we can get in shit from CTV. Okay, does it play? Oh, wait, the sound won't play. That's right. That's right. Sound doesn't play when you screen share. And, of course, ads. Lame. Okay, so screw that. A video made the rounds on social media after showing a woman being knocked over by a police horse. Okay. It happened as police made an effort to contain a homecoming party for McMaster University on Dalewood Crescent. For those of you that don't know, McMaster's in Hamilton. According to Hamilton police, an officer had gone through on foot to clear the road first. Okay, so she got off her horse. But a woman ended up in front of the horse and was trampled. See, this question asked me, because I'm like, okay, it says she was knocked over by the horse. Was she knocked over and then trampled, or did the horse just step on her foot? Like...
Which hurts, by the way.
Yeah, Terry. See, that's what my phone is for. But you don't use your desktop for that shit. You use your phone. And then Alex, and you don't leave 100 tabs open like Alex Jones did either. That's just.
And you also put your phone in private mode if you're going to do that.
Well, no. If you use Twitter for your porn, it's easy.
Well, that's your first mistake, is using Twitter for
No. That's the good part about it, because you use Twitter for the porn, and you just make sure you don't hit like or retweet, and you're good.
Yeah.
Oh, don't worry, Skep. Blind rides horses. I know. I got headbutted in the nuts by Duncan.
Yeah, horses won't do it on unless you've done something to the horse. Like Skep just said, horses will try not to step on you. He's right. Unless you do something to the horse, because they will, like, they are intelligent and they will be like, well, fuck you. Piss me off, I'm going to step on you. Or headbutt you. Or, just push you out of the way. But if you're not being a douche, they generally won't step on you. So I want to know what this chick was doing.
See, again, and another perfect example of the issues with the way that our new media handles everything. Like, watch, you'll see there's only like 2 paragraphs left in this article for 4 paragraphs. They're not even paragraphs, they're lines. The officer on the horse was looking forward and did not see her. Well, when you're in an elevated position, it hurts my brain. Elephants think humans are cute the way we think puppies are cute.
Why is that slightly worrying to me? To have like this elephant just be like, oh.
Okay, the officer on the horse. Yeah, so looking for 2 police officers who were following behind on foot reportedly stopped to help the woman until paramedics arrived. She was treated on scene and did not need any further medical attention.
And she wasn't trampled by the fucking horse, news person.
What'd they do? Give her an ice pack and a lolly? Oh, aren't you a cute little liberal protestee? I'm sorry the big beautiful horse stepped on you.
Oh, what a fucking... Would you write? You deliberately write that she was trampled, and then you're like, oh, but she was treated on scene. Then she wasn't trampled.
Oh, I know. Oh, hey, student was found dead at Laurier. Oh, that's right. I read that article. The kid was found outside the building, but they won't give details as to how. I'm thinking they went splat.
Yeah.
Because it's Laurier, and that's the Regina Street. That's Regina Street. That's the one that, They have a lot of problems at that building.
Yep.
We don't care if we
expensive
guys
building.
figure out what city we're in. We don't care. In all actuality, because if you watch my driving videos, you can figure out where we are. So I'm not going to sit there and go, we're going to hide. So, but either way, yeah. So that's interesting. So the incident is under investigation to prevent something similar from happening again. Are they going to say, get out of the fucking horse's way? Because that's what I would say. This is a 1,300-pound beast. Why are you standing in front of it? Okay. Okay. So that's that one.
You already know what I think. I think that reporter is disingenuous telling us he got trampled.
Something tells me that, oh, well, we get that a lot. So there's nothing we can do. Last year, my cousin broke his thumb and we were at the hospital for them to put pins in it. Right after we left, someone went splat and we saw it on the news. It's so horrible the way we talk about death. But you know what?
Maybe she died, and that's why they didn't need medical attention. That way she still could have been trampled.
Oh, God. Oh, okay, this one might piss some people off. It did to me as well. You're going to want to kill these parents. I'm going to give you that right now. Read the headline and you'll understand. Couple charged for leaving 5-year-old in the woods after he wets himself.
Fuck you.
Who's ready to kill parents? Luckily, not in Canada. And surprise, surprise, Minnesota. A man and woman in southern Minnesota were accused of dropping off a 5-year-old boy in the woods as punishment for wetting himself. Officials say 42-year-old Linda Michael and 32-year-old Gregory Wilson, were charged Friday in Nicollet County District Court with child neglect. 42 and 32. Okay. Authorities say the boy was found on August 28th walking south of St. Peter, a community roughly 90 kilometers southwest of Minneapolis.
Hopefully he wasn't 90 kilometers away from his home.
Actually, they're from St. Peter. So they're 90K from southwest Minneapolis. Okay. He was crying and wet from rain when a motorist spotted him. He told authorities he had been dropped off because he had been naughty. The couple told authorities they turned around after a short distance, but could not find him. This sounds familiar. Didn't this happen like last year or something freaking like that?
I don't remember that.
I remember a story very similar to this last, like... Anybody else? Terry? Scap? Nico? Anyone? I recall, I swear I heard I remember a very, very similar story to this. And it pissed me off just as much. I think it was an MSS News article that came up. Age difference like that doesn't bother me as long as they're legal. My stepmother and dad. No, that's not my point, Nico. That's not it whatsoever. It's not a fact of like 42 and 32. No, fuck that. No, you can be. I don't give a shit how old you are. That's fine. It's kind of terrifying, isn't it, Terry? They all kind of know. It really is.
Better. At 42 and 32.
That's the point. They are really old enough to know better, and it's the fact that is one that I'm wondering about the mental stability of them. That's my issue, because that's a dick thing. Like, people do this stuff all the time, yeah, but my problem is this is the second story in a row where it's been the same thing. Well, I dropped him off, we drove off, came back, and he was gone. Like, these are the type of people that I wish were chemically castrated. One dead, injured. Oh, there's a train derailment. Another train derailment.
Where?
Woman killed. Oh, yeah, this was sad. Woman killed by her own dog after it attacked toddler. That was a boxer pit bull cross, apparently.
That's a sad story.
Yeah, I'm not watching that one. Not going to read that one. Okay, so yeah, so dickhead parents' child is no longer with them.
Well, that's good.
Roads shut after 2 fall ill in UK city where ex-spy poisoned. Okay, that's going to get popped up in a new tab. We're going to check that one out in a minute. Stories from around the world. Shark attack victim was an engineering student and an outdoorsman. That he...
Then he should have known better.
Okay, back to this. Okay, so let's kill that. Okay, this one pissed me off today. This was an interesting story. Quebec retailers will be barred from selling products bearing cannabis leaves. This is freaking hilarious. So, in the States, you guys might not be aware, but you are. So, nationwide, one of the big platforms for Trudeau was, we're going to legalize pot by 2018. Now, it was supposed to be done in July, and they couldn't get the legislation right federally to legalize it federally, but then allow the provinces to handle their own regulations individually. It's really fucking stupid. It's kind of what they should have done in the States, but not because of shit like this. And you'll see why in a second. So under Quebec's cannabis law, the new one, so this comes into effect October 24th is when it's nationwide legal, but at the same time, it's the new rule. It makes me wish that they had never gone through with this in the first place, like I said. But let's start this over. No, it's not. Our 4-year-old wet himself for the first time the other night, or the other day at school. And what are we going to do? No, you give them new clothes. You say, it happens. Just make sure you go in the toilet. And
they get distracted.
Yeah, they're 5. They have the attention span of a gnat. We all know this. Okay, so back to the story that angers me after I kill these stupid ads. So many ads. Okay, so under Quebec cannabis law, retailers across the province will be banned from selling products decorated with the cannabis leaf. So flag, t-shirts, anything. Imagine a consumer walking in here with innocent purchase in mind, just wanting to buy a cannabis t-shirt. Christopher Manillo, who co-owns a chain of smoke and accessory boutiques in Quebec, so he's a head shop owner. And lo and behold, the one place he expects it to be, it won't be there. In shops like Manillo's, the iconic cannabis leaf image adorns all kinds of products, clothes, blah, blah, blah. We all know this. We've all bought the flags. I don't know if people in chat have, but it's all, over the years. But once cannabis becomes legal for recreational use on October 17th, which I don't believe is going to happen, I guarantee they're going to push it back.
Yep.
Selling such items will be illegal. So it'll be legal to smoke, but illegal to buy a t-shirt. So you remember all the Cheech and Chong shit? Like all that stuff? Yeah, you're not going to get that anymore. It's very disappointing, and I do feel it will have an impact on our sales. It's going to kill sales in Quebec. Now, this is only one province. This isn't all across. This is just an example of the problem with the legalization and the fact that they're going to allow each individual province of governments to run.
Yeah.
Well, since you can't go to the Amsterdam and not do that, well, I'm sorry, Terry. In fact, I was just talking about how I'm probably going to end up cutting back because of all these new laws. Under Quebec law, yeah, logos, blah, 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 unless they are government approved on cannabis-related objects, unless they are government approved.
You got a license for that joint, mate?
Got a license for that bong, mate?
You got a license for that logo?
That's what it's gonna be. It's so fucking sad. That industry is bigger than the other industry, so they're gonna cut off their thumb to like go, oh, we can get taxes from this retail stuff like we've always been getting. When I was homeless, there was an old hippie couple that shared pot with me. Hell, yes, it does. It actually does. But the problem is, it shouldn't be legalized to this extent. It should just be decriminalized. Portugal had it right. I've always said that.
Yeah.
And being half Portuguese, I can understand. I will say, I want to go home to my home country and go smoke there. But they legalized all drugs. So that's just terrifying. Okay, so I would believe the Quebec regulation for now would be probably subject to interpretation in the future because there is a general prohibition to promote cannabis on any object and not necessarily on objects that pertain to the consumption of cannabis. So that leads to, I would believe, extreme prohibition is what the dude said. Speaking of CTV Montreal, a representative from Quebec's health ministry said they have no plan to enforce these regulations. So the regulations are going to be on the books, but no one is going to enforce it. Isn't there a term for that where it's on the books, but it's a garbage law, throwaway laws or something like that?
Yes, but I can't remember the correct.
That's exactly what it is. So this is it's just wrong. To do so, they have 31 inspectors. Retailers who break the new rules can expect fines from $5,000 to $62,000.
Jesus.
Such fines, 62.5. Some fines can be doubled for repeat offenses. Fuck's sakes. So 2 T-shirts will net you 125 grand in fines. Despite his dismay with the new regulations, Manillo says his stores will obey the law and keep cannabis leaf decorated products nearby in the event he is allowed to sell them again. So he's going to have them in a box in a bag. Excuse me, sir. Do you have any T-shirts? Why, yes. Well, no, sir. We do not have those T-shirts as it is illegal and there is nothing we can... Come with me. That's all I can think of.
That's exactly it.
That's all I can come up with. It's just terrible. Despite his dismay with the new regulations, yeah, as I just read that one, who's to say you can't have an ashtray with a cannabis leaf, he said. All we can really do is keep our ear to the ground and stay in touch with our lawyers.
That is so ridiculous.
Like I said, this shit is getting just dumb. You've got a bunch of geriatric lawyers that don't smoke. They're all still living in the world of reefer fucking madness. And it scares them. This whole concept of the plant is going to cause all these troubles. The children are going to kill each other. Blacks are going to rape whites. Oh my God. It's pandemonium in the streets, ladies and gentlemen. That's what you get. Oh, fuck. Who left? Okay, so yeah, that's just terrible. And here we go. And that one there, so I don't keep opening it. Okay, okay. So did anybody hear about this one? U.S. Border Patrol agent suspected of killing 4, jailed on $2.5 million bond.
No.
They should just dye the cannabis leaf red and say, "Oh, it was a mistake with the Canadian leaf." They have those on the flags. Those are the standard Canadian flags for potheads. Is a giant red pot leaf in the middle of the 2 white of the red stripes. Hey, Sora Luna, how you doing? Or watch the Reefer Madness musical. Yeah. Yeah, it's just bad. This is getting these. I have the answer. Every time you buy marijuana, you have to listen to Because They Got High by Afro Man. Oh, more of that song. And I go, nope, ain't doing that. I was gonna cut the grass real hard, but then I got high. So I cut it in a circle. I got nothing. A U.S. Okay, so in Houston, a U.S. Border Patrol supervisor was jailed Sunday on $2.5 million bond in Texas, accused of killing at least 4 Whammons, and injuring a 5th who managed to escape. What? Juan David Ortiz, 35, was in custody in Laredo on 4 counts of murder, along with charges of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon and unlawful restraint, Webb County jail records showed.
Jesus.
Ortiz was arrested a day earlier after being found hiding in a truck in a hotel parking lot in Laredo at about 2 a.m. Saturday, capping what investigators portrayed as a 10-day string of violence. Webb County District Attorney, is it something Mexican, said Saturday that investigators consider this to be a serial killer whose victims are believed to be prostitutes. Okay, then. Lanes described how the Customs and Border Patrol intel supervisor continued going to work as usual throughout the day. He was a supervisor. Did they even say it in the headline? No, wow. So he wasn't an agent, he was a supervisor.
Hmm.
Hey, then. Yeah, that adds a whole different level. Where was I? Describe customer intel. Yeah, he was the patrol intel supervisor. Fuck's sakes. As law enforcement was looking for the killer, he would be reporting to work every day like normal. So Dexter? Seriously, is that what we're looking at here? Is fucking Dexter, but for Border Patrol? What's the Mexican name for Dexter? Juan? It all began with the discovery September 4th of a body of 29-year-old Melissa Ramirez. According to a police affidavit, Ortiz said he killed Ramirez a day earlier. Like the other victims, Ramirez was shot in the head and left on the road in rural northwest Webb County.
Damn.
She was a mother of two. A second victim, 40-year-old Claudine Ann Luera, was found shot and left on the road Thursday morning, badly injured but still alive. The mother of five died at the hospital later that day. I thought they said these were hookers. On Friday, according to the
Hookers can be
affidavit...
mothers.
What?
Hookers can be mothers.
I know, but this is just weird. It's like he's just targeting mother hookers. But let's see where we go. Let's see where we go from here. On Friday, according to the affidavit, Ortiz picked up a woman named Erica Pena. She told police she struggled with Ortiz inside his truck, where he pointed a pistol at her, but that she was able to flee. She made it to a gas station where she found a state trooper who she asked for help. According to the affidavit, Ortiz told investigators that after Pena ran off, he picked up his last two victims, whose identities have not been released by authorities. Jail records don't list an attorney to speak for Ortiz, who had worked for Border Patrol for 10 years. So how many more bodies are there then?
Yeah.
Olanes said the dead are believed to have been prostitutes and that one of them was a transgender woman. Always a trap, isn't there? At least two were U.S. citizens. The nationalities of the others were not known, he said. He said, well...
Likely they're Mexican.
I'm willing to bet, or somewhere from that area. He said investigators are still working to determine a motive. Really? Ortiz was believed to have acted alone. The federal agency issued a statement offering its sincerest condolences to the victims' families and saying criminal activity by its employees is not tolerated. You think?
We disavow.
We disavow this Border Patrol agent that killed at least 5 women. He was trapped.
We disavow.
He found Captain Winky, and that's what drove him into a murderous rage. For sure, because it was fun. The Texas Department of Public Safety, whose Texas Rangers are investigating, referred questions on the case to Webb County Sheriff's Office. The Rangers are investigating, but questions are to... Okay.
What is this hot potato for law enforcement?
No, it's, hey, talk to them. They probably know what's going on. And meanwhile, it's fucking stupid. Juan was written about by Juan. The name of the writer is Juan Lozano.
Oh, God.
If there's not just one, there's two.
Oh.
Okay, I'm going to stop with the bad jokes. Okay, this one, okay, next story. This is actually kind of interesting. This one I saw yesterday and I needed to read. I think it was yesterday. What's today's? I saw this, this morning, that's right, before the kill stream, because my brain is just fried from all that. Okay. This is titled, this is from the Star, We the Norse, How the Royal of Brahma's Royal Ontario Museum and other experts were fooled by a Viking hoax in Northern Ontario. This was... Thank you, Terry. I try too hard sometimes. More like Jack the Ripper than Dexter. See, that's the thing, though. You see, Jack the Ripper, wasn't he a doctor, though? Or, wait. Yeah, he was supposedly a failed nurse.
There was a lot of theories about him, like that he was either a surgeon or at the very least a butcher.
I don't know. Where's Jack? Is he here yet? Like, ask him. It's his legacy. Probably watch. See, the problem is right now, we're not the only ones on. But we said we would be on now. So, all right. One article. Yeah, by the way, this here is bullshit. Get ready for more paywalls, people. Okay. So, this was an interesting story. Charles Curley, the renowned ROM archaeology director, paid $500 in 1936. What would that be today? A lot of money. For relics supposedly found a few years earlier by prospector Eddie Dodd. At the time, the discovery in Beardmore, Ontario, which is like way up north, like you're talking beyond Timmins, satisfied a thirst to confirm that the Viking voyages described in legends did indeed extend to Canada and went deep inside the country. But did Norse adventurers of 1,000 years ago really make it inland from Hudson Bay? Hudson Bay is inland. In Beardmore, the Viking hoax that rewrote history, author Douglas Hunter looks at the origins and lasting power of the Beardmore hoax. This is going to be a little lengthy, but it's actually kind of really informative. Let me know if you want me to
keep reading. I'm going to go check. I think I hear feet.
Okay, can you mute your mic then?
Yep.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Good morning, all. Hope you enjoy the cancer that we're running from. And why is it? Did you mute your mic? There we go. Okay. I guess she did. Okay, so on September 7th, 1936, a small Canadian press story that related the news out of Fort William of Viking relics caught the eye of an unknown Henry Morgan executive in Montreal. Wait, has anyone seen Jack Hawker and Jack Thricker in the same room at the same time? They are both named Jack. Good point. Very good point. Okay, where was I? So Henry Morgan, executive in Montreal, glued the clipping to a sheet of letterhead. To a sheet of letterhead, jotted beside it, "Can these things be?" and mailed it to C.T. Curley, the director of the ROM. Wow. Okay, so these are the artifacts. Well, you know, the sword, axe, and shield handle. I see the sword. I guess that's an axe head. And that would be a shield handle that looks like a piece of cabinet furniture. So we got these two. So these are your discoverers. I don't know which one's Eddie Dodd. Eddie Dodd is this guy. And Fletcher Gill is this guy. Don't know who Fletcher Gill is yet. So Sork Arbor stirs interest to a sheet letterhead. The director of the ROM of Archaeology responded on September 9th. Although no reply is preserved, the clipping indicates that Teddy Ellicott's subsequent letter of revealing Dodd's weapons cache could not have come as a complete surprise. Where are we? The contents of Elliott's letter electrified Curley. The enclosed drawings of Dodd's relics. So these are drawings and not photos. Okay. So that's a drawing and not a photo. Okay. Or not. Looks like it. Maybe that is a photo. Okay, either way. Can't tell. It's all black and white. It's hard to tell if it's a photo or not. They suggested to Curley that Dodd possessed one of the early types of the Norse sword, 10th to 11th century. The axe very well also be Norse, and the pick-like piece might be a good many things. So this, I'm guessing. If only for the sake of... Curley wondered if Elliott would write Dodd to beg him to send things down here. If only the sake of preservation, but instead of mailing the letter, Curley, like T.L. Tanton before him, decided to set aside his reply to the school teacher and to write Eddie Dodd directly on November 12th. From the beginning of the collecting activities, Curley had struggled with two opposing tensions. One was the fear of missing out on opportunities by not quickly and decisively, which caused much personal and financial anxiety in his early acquisition years. Curley routinely encountered what he considered once-in-a-lifetime chances in market. The other tension was the fear of being duped by fakes. Okay, so they initially had the fear that it was there.
Right.
Throughout his career, Curley had to make snap decisions and acquisition opportunities. There was no time for prolonged investigations of provenance. That's dumb. And all museum directors of his generation had to contend with the, oh God, I hate words like that, ephemeral, Ephemeral.
Ephemeral.
Ephemeral? Okay. If not non-existent archaeological documentation from any of the objects they collected. Curley had been fortunate to work under Flinders Petrie, a pioneer figure in scientific archaeology in Egypt and Palestine. Yeah, like there's no fakes that come out of Egypt and Palestine in the 1930s. But most of Curley's collecting from the beginning of his career involved dealers as well as ordinary people who appeared at excavations with purportedly ancient items to sell. His archaeology experience ended in 1907. Thereafter, he was exclusively a buyer, not an excavator of relics.
So how does that make him an archaeologist?
What? Oh, what was that?
Does it say he's an archaeologist?
It said he was an archaeologist. But he faced poorly ancient items to sell. His archaeology experience ended in 1907. He was exclusively a buyer, so he was a procurer of fine relics. Is, I guess, what the proper terminology would be, rather than a buyer.
He's a collector.
Okay, Curley could not know for certain the origins of items of his memories of collecting in Egypt and the Mediterranean. Curley could not know for certain the origins of items, and his memories of collecting in Egypt and the Mediterranean were animated by an ever-present and understandable concern that he would be duped. Okay, well, I guess this is all foresight 110 years later, so what can we do about that? Okay, Curley, I'm going to just jump ahead a little bit here, because this is, the article's almost over. Holy crap. Oh, no, it's not.
This is the story that never ends.
Yeah, and I think I just locked it up.
Oh, dear.
Okay, so basically, to summate, let's go down to the bottom here. So the letter, 18th century. He can just identify as an archaeologist. Who are you to deny his lived experience? Hey, Pros, how you doing? Oh God, I love our group. These guys are great. It constantly shapeshifts. Okay, what did I skip? Eddie Dog, right? Okay, so date unknown. So this is like, so the guy bought relics. Let's see here. Okay, so this is just a brief history of it. In January 1930, there we go. Here we go. Perfect. In January 1938, Curley would state that the Vikings, to a certain degree, are our own ancestors because we must all have a bit of Norse blood in us if we are British. Hi, dear. Would you like some Norse in you? The Beardmore relics were an unparalleled opportunity to bridge the old and new worlds through weaponry, one of Curley's favorite instructive tools within a complex ethnic and imperialist context. Oh, God. Language. The relics placed the Vikings in the landscape with a sword, which was always treated with the greatest priority by anyone discussing Eddie Dodd's find. A sword conveyed power, authority, and daring. It conjured the sweep of a Norseman's arm in claiming a new land for the Gothicist descendants who ultimately would settle it. And that's the end of the article. Gay.
So he bought...
Yeah, he bought bullshit relics that he was told were found up north. He didn't even verify. There was no verification, nothing like that. It was, I guess this will be
my
it.
Camera on?
No.
Okay, it says my... Oh, weird.
Yeah, I think they updated Hangouts now. It's so dumb. Because I noticed when I came in, my camera was on, but my camera button was lit up as if my camera was off until I clicked it. It was weird. Weird shit. Okay, so that story will close. Okay, this is kind of weird. Does anybody remember the Elizabeth Smart thing from a few years back? I'm sure most of you would remember that.
Yeah, it made pretty big international headlines. Because that was an American story, right?
Yeah, yeah, Peter, exactly. But I mean, yeah, it was in 1936 when this happened. So Providence back then. And see, that was the thing. Back then, wasn't that was the whole giant thing? Was like fakes were everywhere back then because there was no way to prove shit. Like we didn't have the internet. We didn't have half the technology. Fuck, we didn't have 99% of the technology we have now, even back then. Um, the only thing I can think of is when did radioactive decay? When did they start using radioisotopes to actively carbon date? When was that? You don't recall this story? Okay, well, that chick is frightening looking.
Elizabeth Smart was kidnapped when she was 8, I think.
No, teenager. Here, well, why don't we go to the story and find out? Okay, so Salt Lake City, Utah. So the headline is Family Won't Take in Elizabeth Smart's Kidnapper.
Wait, does that mean Elizabeth Smart's
I was family like, won't take? So, well, let's read and find out. Provenance. Provenance? Provenance?
Providence.
Yes, but when you say it with exclamations, is that like Eureka? Eureka! Providence! Okay. Once an accomplished organ player in Salt Lake City, Wanda Barzee became a disturbing figure for members of her own family after she helped in the 2002 kidnapping of then teenager Elizabeth Smart. Like Paul Bernardo of the 2000s, I swear. Days before the 72-year-old woman is released from prison, looming fears about whether she remains a threat and calls to keep her off the streets bring up deep-rooted questions about mental health treatment in the nation's prisons. Oh, God. This is why the death penalty needs to be brought up again.
How is she mentally ill? Sorry.
This goes back to Carla Homolka. How was she considered mentally ill for giving her sister to Paul Bernardo?
If you call psychopathy mental illness or sociopathy mental illness, yeah, I suppose then she's a mentally ill person. But...
Well, and don't forget, right before they let Homolka out, they tried to claim that the whole thing was based upon Stockholm syndrome.
Yeah,
they were trying to conflate that. They were trying to conflate the Bernardo stuff with the psycho guy, Manson. They were trying to conflate those things even back in the 90s when that happened. You guys in the States probably wouldn't hear about Paul Bernardo. He was Canada's third worst murderer now that Robert Pickton has been taken away.
And now that Clifford Olson is dead.
That was the one I was thinking of. Did you guys hear about the story of the schizophrenic man who decapitated an Ada man on a Greyhound bus in Canada?
Yep.
Yeah, that was messed up. It was actually, that was a funny story, yeah. He got out pretty quickly after that. That was the terrifying part with the dude on the bus. You remember the Greyhound guy, right? I always made the joke that when I came across the border on the bus from the Navy, I had all those knives on me, and then this shit happened. Yeah.
Yep.
I was armed to the teeth when I came across the border, and then this shit happened not too long after. The dude decapitated on the Greyhound bus. Yeah. If you guys want, we can go over that in a bit. That one was messed up completely. Robert Pickton was just as bad with he killed some astronomical number of hookers, but he fed them to his pigs. And the only way that it was kind of like the Robert Pickton thing was a scene out of CSI. Not CSI. What's the other? Criminal Minds. That's it. It was like that. It was that messed up. So many shoes. The guy kept the shoes of all of them in a big, just like a big outside, like a storage bin kind of a thing. It was weird. Okay, anyway, details of the crime still horrify Barzee's niece, Tina Mace. It just makes you ill. How could anyone do that? Her aunt played the organ at her wedding decades ago before Barzee joined Mitchell as he acted on his so-called revelations from God. Oh yeah, that's right. This was the one that was like, that's dreadful. Yeah, Prospero. That one there. It was. They were young too, both of them. The guy that did the decapitation. And then there was the dude that killed his roommate because he found out he was gay. That was another one. That was another decapitation one. We have some really messed up people up here. Are you there? Blind? Blind? Oh, I guess I lost her. She must have gone to check on the baby. It just makes you ill. How could anyone do that? No, they didn't. They kept. I think they still had like a dozen or so victims that they considered to be there, but it's hard to find the remains when you're using, pigs. Pigs will eat everything but human teeth. I accidentally knocked myself out of the stream and can't get back in. I don't know if that worked or not, but we'll find out. Did it work? Are you back? No. How do I do this? I don't know how this shit works. There it is. It says you're in the conversation. Oh, why? Why did you leave me like this? How do I send you with the link? Sorry, people. I am totally terrible at this. Joining by link. There's the link. Copy link. Okay. Forgive me, people. I know not what I do. I don't know how this works. I don't know how this works. Where's the twatter? Oh yeah, the twatter is over here. Okay. Give me 1 second. I'm not going to leave you people. I'm just going to stop screen sharing because, you people don't need to see my DMs. I don't like to do that. Special leading the blind. No. The blind will always rule over the special. I'm just super special. I'm super special. Okay, DMs. And my computer is even more special because it's slower than snail shit. Okay, blind, try that. I don't know if it'll work because, yes, I'm a boomer. I will happily admit boomer. Falsetto so no one notices blind isn't here. I do not know what falsetto is, and I cannot put my voice. I can't do what she can. I can't do it. Did you find the link? Check your DMs. Oh, shit. I pushed the wrong button. Is she back? Are you back? No, she's not back. Oh, well, back to what I was doing. No, where's the screen share button? Okay. Oh, I should do that. Retweet because it's just weird.